Saturday, May 10, 2014. This is Mercedes Diesel Guy, and this is my 1983 Mercedes 240 diesel. Continuing with the front fender today. Hopefully I'll finish the metalwork on it today. Here, of course, is the front passenger fender. Now, as I've shown you, I actually had a very large rust hole right here at the front, which has since been replaced entirely with steel and welded in. You can see here that these seams aren't as clean as they could be, but this is all going to be under the bumper cover, and I really don't so much mind that as such. So the last bit of metal work I really need to do here is on the rear bottom portion. You can see this is all rusted out, and basically I'm going to cut and weld in some repair sections here. Basically, you can see this section is more or less made of a few sections of more or less flat panel. There's this section here which has a slight curve but is more or less flat. Then there's a pretty sharp angle here, and it stays straight along this portion, and then it curves around the bottom here. So the first thing I'm going to do is just cut this section right here, make a template, cut a patch, and weld it in. After that, I will do the same for the second section, and then work around the corner here. And I'm also going to have to fix right around down here. This is where the fender originally bolted to the body. So, gotta do something here to fix this mounting point and put another one over here. So I'm gonna get started now. As you can see, I have the first patch lightly tacked into place. Everything's all kind of sloppy looking right now, but I'm gonna take my grinder to this, smooth it out, and then continue filling in the welds. And as you can see, there's already major improvement there with just a little bit of grinding. So I'm gonna go back in here, do a little more welding to try to fill this out a little better, grind it again, and then I'll move on to fitting the next patch. So here's where I'm going to call it a day. I actually have the metal work done, and I will show you the results. Okay, so here's the bottom of the fender. This whole portion right here didn't exist earlier today. This is all fresh metal, and I'm not sure how much you can see, but rebuilt the corner there. But the big issue down here was that the portion where the fender mounts to the unibody had completely rusted out. Now, basically, from the factory, there were two bolts that ran through the fender here. From the factory, there were two notches in the fender, and those bolts went into captive nuts on the unibody. Well, that portion of the fender and that portion of the unibody were rusted out on me. So, I actually did build some new notches into the fender here. And you can see this, see if I can show this to you. This is actually a stud. I've got one on the other side too. In order to make the stud, I actually cut down some bolts and I welded them to the body. So basically, I'm going to use a nut on the top of the stud here, and that will, in essence, bolt the fender to the body. And then once that's done, the trim piece will cover everything. So at the end of the day, I'm actually very happy with this. And actually, I also drilled a hole here for the trim piece mount. So I've got this all set to go now. My next step, obviously, is to take the fender off, treat all the new metal repairs, and let's see if I can show you. I actually also want to paint this inside edge here red. To go along with the rest of the door jamb work. And like I said, I want to treat, prime, and seal everything, and then just get a skim coat of filler on all this new stuff here. So this is Mercedes Diesel Guy, and this is the front passenger fender for my 83 240D. I just wanted to show you that this kind of repair work on a fender is possible, although at the end of the day my recommendation is with bolt-on panels, if you can source a good replacement economically, go ahead and do it. Because I did a lot more work, spent a lot more time fixing up this fender than I thought I would. And if I had saved the parts car fender, I really wouldn't have had to do that. But, whatever. So, this is a Mercedes Diesel Guy. Thanks for watching.